Hi everyone, welcome to the next video in this Fancy Flowers series from Magical Worlds by Johanna Basford, and we are doing this one here. I think it's number 9. This one intrigues me. I think it's rather fun. I have a little plan, so it makes a change for me to already have a plan. There we go. It looks like a bit like a tree to me, so that's how I'm going to do some of the detailing like this. I think it looks a bit like a tree trunk, so I'm gonna do it a bit fancy. Well, as fancy as you can get when you're me. These are Castle Art's gold pencils. This is the green gold. Now the green gold is actually a metallic pencil, and we're going to use it down at the bottom here. I'm going to put it on more layers here and then sort of fade it towards the middle of the tree. I'm going to call it a tree. I know it's supposed to be a flower, and we are going to try and make it look a bit flowerish, being a word obviously, in a bit, but let's just get this bit done first. So there it is. I think I need to sharpen this one. And I'm going to do every other bit of the trunk in this, and then every other bit in a different colour, just because I think it's fun. So I'm going to do the same thing though by fading towards the centre. I think we can end up making it look like it's a bit of a shiny tree, which I think is quite cool. Now this one, look, I'm going to cut it off here, because that doesn't fit in with my plan. Same here, cut off there. So I just want to do this sort of trunk bit with this. I know we're getting up here to a bit of a branch. Got a stripe there, so I think I'm going to do that one. And we'll go up there. We'll do this one on the edges there like that. And there. That one hasn't got any stripes. This one's got a stripe, we'll put one there. Oh, and this one. Okay, that's part 1. Part 2 is going to be with this oyster colour. Okay, we're going to go back through doing the same thing, but in the gaps. Now this is a sort of pinky grey. I rather like it. This little section of colours in this part of the tray, actually I may have moved them. Don't know what order they were in actually. They come I think these come in a really weird order. Actually, I'm never sure whether pencils always arrive in the same order in the tray. I don't know for sure. But they were in an odd order on the swatch chart, so I changed it about. I think that's all our gaps. So hopefully you can see we've got a bit, looks a bit shiny. And then we're going to use the Old Rose. Sorry, Indecisive. This is one of my favourite colours. You can see it's got very short. It actually decided to break. So I'm going to use this, and then I'm going to try to make these look a bit more rounded by making them dark on the edge, a little bit lighter towards the centre. Like that. And just work my way up and around the different parts of the tree, just gently doing this. Now I don't know whether this is supposed to be a pink or a sort of greyish colour. Well, it's called Old Rose, so I guess it's pink, but I just rather like it. I think because I'm not a pinky person, in the sense I don't like sort of Barbie pinks, fuchsia pinks like that very much. In fact, there aren't really many in here this set, which is good. But I like the more subtle. This is like a dusky pink, isn't it? Or a dirty pink. Which I prefer. So I'm hoping my son's okay. He hasn't been in touch with me. So I haven't asked him to. He's at uni this morning, but he's got a class that he really likes today. He says people, about half the class tend to turn up for this one, even though it's first thing on a Monday morning. When I was quite surprised, I said, surely people don't get out of bed. And he's like, oh, but it's a nice teacher and it's an easy subject. So people quite like to come along. So that's good. So I can't remember what subject it is though. I think it might be. He's doing, what's he doing this term? He's doing corporate accounting, management accounting, and a sort of statistical type package one, I think, like data analysis. It's not that one. I can't remember the other one. He does tell me. He usually actually tells me the number of the module rather than the name, so it makes it a little bit tricky to know what he's on about, really. But anyway, don't you remember, Mum, what 2321 is, or whatever it might be? No. My poor old brain not only isn't used to having to store information like that. We've actually got a line there, but I'm going to pretend it isn't there and just colour it the same way. Yeah, I just don't remember these things. I'm not very good at remembering numbers. It's like pencil numbers. I don't really remember them. Some people seem to prefer the number, or they like the name and the number, whereas I just like the name. Unless it's certain brands, of course, only have numbers and not names. And some brands have neither. I think if they have neither, they're a really, really budgety brand. To not have neither, that's quite... But, you know, that's what some people can afford, and that's fine. It doesn't mean... It just makes it quite hard for a video. This is a sepia light, because I can't tell you what I'm using. I'm going to sharpen this. And what I'm going to try and do with these last bits is... try and go around the edge and make them a bit darker on the outside than the centre. Almost looks a bit metallic, I think, with that green gold and the slightly, you know, the way it's been coloured. Which is nice, I think. I've been planning some Christmas colouring, which is rather good. Got a few different plans. There isn't really, like, last Christmas Small Victories was out, Johanna Basford's little book, and I coloured a few things in a sort of sparkly or Christmassy style. I haven't really found anything in here that I feel inspired to do that with, you know. There is one page which has snow on it. Have you found it? And that's it. So I shall do that one in December, but I may do a few other bits and bobs from other books and things, which probably about time. Well, I have been moving to other books a little bit now, despite the fact that I just want to colour in this book all the time. It's lovely. It's odd because I don't get the same enthusiasm for any other illustrator. I missed one out. What's the matter with me? Than Johanna for colouring and just not putting a book down, you know. Whereas with other people, I do enjoy their books, but I don't get that same, like, I've got to colour in it, I want to use it all the time. Right, that is done. I kept it quite simple, and you could put a little bit of shadow underneath each of the darker circles to make them look like they're standing out, but the way they've been drawn, I don't actually think they are, so I'm going to leave them. Also, I can't really think of a colour that I suppose I'd have to go for a sort of brown. I didn't really want to do that, so I quite like the colours just as they are, just because they're my favourite colours. I like them like that, but if you can darken it up or add a bit of shadow in places if you wish, but I'm quite happy with it like that, so I'm going to leave it. So that is me for today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day and happy colouring.